Aloha Friday, everybody. Kamaka Brown right here. And oh my goodness, I must tell you from Lehua Kalima's first solo project after Na Leo, Rising in Love. That song possibly is one of my favorite, jazzy, smooth, and I don't can't get enough of that music. Still on Rising in Love with Lehua Kalima. What's up, everybody? Sandwich Island Social Network right here. We are at a special time in the afternoon. I know a lot of you take naps, myself included. But we are here, and you know what? We're going to have a good time this afternoon with a good friend and talk story about her musical journey and what's going on with Lehua Kalima. I'd like to share with all of you, of course, the Aloha Friday sessions with the Sandwich Island Social Network is a series of interesting, fun conversations sharing the lives and journey of people in our island community. Sandwich Island Social Network is a nonprofit organization serving Hawaiians and Hawaiians at heart away from their island home, and tax deductible donations are gratefully accepted. Right below, you see one little scroller where you can be part of sustaining Sandwich Island Social Network by going to patreon.com/ Sandwich Islands, plural, 808, and find out how you can become a sustaining member of the Sandwich Islands Social Network Ohana. And we want to remind you that to all of our friends that are watching, that it is a live broadcast here. The Aloha Friday show is interactive live show. We welcome your comments, questions throughout the show. We love to hear from you. You guys are the ones that make the show so interesting and so fascinating, and we love to hear from you. So, if you would be so kind as to join me right now in welcoming our guest for this afternoon, none other than Lehua Kalima. Aloha!
Aloha, how are you?
I'm doing good, doing really, really good. Thank you so much for joining us over here on our little virtual paina. And,
Oh, mahalo for having me. It's nice to be here.
I had one aha moment right earlier today. I thought you were still on the still on the aina, and and coincidentally, thank goodness for my cousin Wendell Stasco, who was at this event where you were last night. He
Right.
is he is a St. Louis alumni. Wendell was also principal of the boys' school at St. Louis. He also went to St. Louis. So he said, "Hey, bro, you get Lehua Kalima on your show tomorrow." I go, "Yeah." He said, "Yeah, well, I'm watching her right now tonight at this St. Louis because we're going on a game." He told me the whole story. I said, "Oh, really? I wonder if they give a late night flight out of Vegas back to Honolulu because she said she's gonna be at 12 o'clock." And so,
Yes, well, there is a late night flight, but no, yeah, I live here now. So,
so, so we're gonna move things around and
yeah, what kind? Yeah, not Hawaii Standard Time. We're on Pacific Standard Time. Yeah,
was
sorry about
was
that.
so funny because I had some friends say, "Hey, we take a nap in the afternoon." I go, "Never mind, go nap either before or after." So welcome, Lihua. Thank you so much.
Ah,
Let's see. Auntie Hetty is jumping on. Auntie Hetty is and Uncle Larry are part of our sustaining member Ohana. Aloha Kamaka. We are on. Welcome, you guys. So good. Here's Thyra. Your group is one of our Ohana's favorite. Your voice is like an angel. I
aw.
can listen all day. Mahalo Kamaka for inviting Lehua as a guest today on Aloha Friday. Ah, so nice.
Sweet.
So
Mahalo.
nice. I don't know where to begin. Most of the 30 years plus that
Wow,
you have spent, I know, right?
that's a long time.
I think he was only 5 years old, yeah, when you first.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe one.
They had preschool at Kamehameha. They had, but and I have to give homage, to the your sisters over here. When you guys came together, look at you guys. Look at you
Woo,
guys, Lehua.
babies.
Huh?
We're babies. 18 years old, my goodness.
Aye.
Crazy.
Oh my goodness. What are your thoughts as you look at this picture, Lehua?
I remember standing there getting ants on my feet because we were up on the wall at Smith at Smith in high school up in Kamehameha, and I was like, Why are we standing in the dirt? And look at my hair. That's prior to straight irons for sure.
So,
It's been a wonderful, wonderful time, though. I tell you, yeah,
oh my goodness.
traded for the world.
So, you know, uh, the the with Nalani and Angela and yourself hitting that. What do you think when you go back to that brown bags to stardom moment that was back in the 80s already? In fact, I wrote it down via what
Yeah,
was it?
84.
1984 at the
Yeah.
Waikiki Shell.
Yes.
Relive just a little capsule. What do you remember of going into the shell and uh, taking your song and what were you guys feeling?
We were extremely nervous, and we really thought that we didn't stand a chance because we'd been there all day. I remember at the Shell, and we were listening to some of the other groups because they had rehearsals, before, because it was a live television show. So everybody kind of ran through what they were going to do, and we're like, oh, no way. We're all we wanted to do was not make A, you know what I mean? So we got up there and we did our thing, and it was different with the audience because we had some friends that were there in the audience, and then I don't know, you just get that energy, and it was amazing. And we made some lifelong friends that night too that are still a part of our life. So Brown Bags to Stardom was an amazing experience for us. Yeah.
Wow, 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 wow. Um, and then you're on this roller coaster over here. Um, if I'm not mistaken, one of the first all female groups that was signed to Sony from Hawaii. You
Mm,
guys went to the whole Japanese market early on with Sony, and
yeah.
uh, what an amazing ride that was with Sony and with being put in front of the Japanese audience. What do you remember about?
Very, very unexpected, and yeah, quite. It was just a fluke, really. One of the Sony A&R people happened to hear one of our records on a jukebox in Japan in this tiny little restaurant, and called Nalani, and it was North Shore Serenade that he heard, and he started talking to her, and then he realized that we had a few albums out by that point, and they signed us, and so we got to go to Japan, and we got to meet a lot of people, and just become really lovers of Japan. I mean, I wouldn't have known that I could have loved the place as much as I did until we got to go there. And the people there are amazing, just very, very sweet, very respectful, very enamored of Hawaiian culture, not just the music and the hula, but just of everything Hawaii. They admire it so much, and very, very nice people. So that was a wonderful experience for us too. It still is. We continue. I miss it so much. I miss not being able to go to Japan in the past couple of years because of COVID. So
Yeah.
hopefully we can go back.
Wow. Wow. Here's Auntie Hetty. Auntie Hetty says, "80s hair." I love all Na Leo albums and now enjoy Lehua as she solos.
Oh,
Yes,
oh.
indeed. Um, yeah, the frizzies, right? The 80s hair,
Oh,
very.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Whew.
So, 23 Hoku Awards later, 23 CDs later, 30, 35, 37 years gone by, and I've seen a number of videos that you've done, conversations with Nalani and with Angela, talking to a number of the media, back home in Hawaii, and how you've moved forward now with a solo career, and you put out Rising in Love, and one of my fave, as I said at the
Oh, thank
intro,
you.
a couple of great tunes. I love jazz, and so
Oh,
you've got a very jazzy, almost an R&B, and with the arrangements, on that album, it is very very contemporary and on any pop
yeah.
contemporary chart. Where does that come from, as opposed to the Hawaiian music, which I know you love and you do right, but.
I do love Hawaiian. I think it's a matter of just loving all music, like it's hard to be just one style when you love so many different styles. And so it's hard to come out, and just do one thing. I've always been a fan of Stevie Wonder. He's one of my very first, and I'm probably his biggest fan. Stevie Wonder, and I love James Taylor, and I love C&K, and I love the Beaver Brothers, and I love Richard Cowie, and I mean, like, and my dad folks, the Kalimas. It's like there's such a plethora of styles and music that makes me so happy, and so I didn't want to be pigeonholed into just one type. I love it all, and so I just kind of do it all. I mean, I don't do it all, but I mean, I do the styles that I like. So
Well, you've been very successful in matching your feelings and how you approach music by those recordings, by the music that we get to enjoy, which is very 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 like Hand to Hold and Starlight that's on that album as well. Um, great tunes. So living now in Las Vegas for about
yeah.
a year or so. Um, you take road trips. I mean, it's one of the things about when you move from the island, kind of, my parents, I'm from North Shore, right? So my parents were living in Kahuku, and I was living in Manoa before I moved to California. And I remember on a weekend, I got to drive 40 miles to Kahuku, visit my parents. Oh, man, I got to drive all the way to Kahuku from Manoa. And now,
That's far, right?
and now I'll drive 80 miles to go have dinner someplace and come back 160.
It seems shorter. I think it's just the traffic on each one that makes you tired. That's why.
I think so. So you did a trip this past summer to Arizona to Sedona. How was that?
Yeah, just a couple weeks ago, actually. It was beautiful. I've never been to Sedona before. And on the way there, actually, one of my the highlights of the trip was there's this place called Bearizona, and so it's like a wildlife preserve. It's right before you get into Arizona from Vegas, and you drive through and you can see all these animals that I've never seen before, like that buffalo and wolves and a cheetah. So I was like, ooh, and Honolulu Zoo doesn't quite justify that. But so that was exciting, and then getting to Sedona itself, and it's amazing. It almost looks fake because it's just so pretty, like the rocks and the colors and the streams and the sunset. I don't know. It was just super chill area to go and relax and eat good food, and yeah, I just kind of kick back and enjoy.
Nice. Sounds like a very peaceful and enjoyable place. Yeah, the
Yeah,
desert has its own beauty. It has its
it
own,
does.
right?
It does.
Very
I
different
mean,
from.
I miss the ocean. I miss the ocean tremendously, but it's nice to be able to appreciate other things, in life, and it really makes you that much more appreciative of the things that you have and you've had your whole life. But to be able to see other things and then expand your horizons and say, hey, there's a lot of beauty out in the world. You just got to look at it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So inspiration for any music that you're writing as well in the last year
Um,
or so?
it's I when it hits me, it hits me. I can't really plan it most of the time. It's kind of funny to say. There are times that I'll have a thought come into my mind, but most of the time I'll just be like, boom, and it'll come, and then I'll have to sit down. So if I think about what am I going to write about today, I've never really been that successful doing that kind of thing. So I kind of just let it happen to me, happen through me, and but I mean, definitely, I can see visions in my mind of things that I experienced when I was there. So yeah, you never know when it might pop up in a song or two somewhere
Yeah.
down the road.
So you play ukulele and guitar, and
And
and bass, right?
and piano.
And I see that beautiful baby grand back there
Yeah.
that you have an opportunity to also play as well. Very very cool. Um, the the progress of your music now. You did your solo project. Was that 2012?
2011. That
2011.
was
Okay.
10 years ago. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Fast.
And
Yeah.
so now, a couple of weeks ago, I was talking with Kavika Kahia'apo. What an amazing talent he.
Super, super talented, beautiful man. Yeah.
Yeah, a real sweetheart, real. And we had some discussions about autism because his son,
Mm, right.
and his involvement with the folks there with support groups and stuff. And he was very excited about um, getting together with you and Sean Pimentel with a new group. Tell us a little bit about the three of you and what mischief you guys are going to get into musically.
Well, it's so nice to be able to sing with yeah, but because I've spent my whole life singing with the two girls, and so now I'm singing with two guys. So Basically, I get the high part every time.
Well,
I
you don't
sound
insist you want to sing. You don't insist you want to sing bass. No, no.
right, right. I don't have to squeeze because they all sing so low over there. But no, just a wonderful experience to be able to. How it all got together was so Sean and I were playing, doing. We've been doing duos gigs for some years now, ever since my solo album came out, because he was helping me promote it. And we had gone to a couple of events where Kavika was playing either with Kaukahi or he was just playing solo, and we said, "Oh, we should do something together, like you guys and us, and we'll do like a tour together." And then we played at an event with him and Joe Baranobis, and then Sean and I, and then we all just got on the stage at the same time. We said, "Oh, let's just all play together, for this thing." And we ended up doing that, and we're like, "Oh, why should we have two groups? Let's just make a group." So we did. So we decided to put it together. So Joe does play with us every once in a while at home in Hawaii, but he isn't really going to go on the road. So it's just the three of us, Sean and Kavika and myself when we're doing some touring. So we just finished our first album. It's actually getting mixed and mastered right now. Yep, there we are in front of the ko'olau. But our group name is Kulaiwi, and Kulaiwi means native lands, and so it's really just a nod to the kind of music that we play, our connection, of course, to Hawaii, to our kupuna, and to the places that mean so much to us, and the hope that our music will inspire future generations to come to also connect to the past and to the land and to the things that are important and matter to Hawaiian people. So
Wow. Um, I know that uh, Kavika was talking about tours that are coming up too, and uh, I'm looking for just one of the little things I want to mention here about the I think yeah, this is it right there. So you have a number of dates coming up
yeah.
in 2021, and all through September 16th, 17th, 18th. Couple of shows, three shows in California, Grass
Mm-hmm.
Valley, Redwood City, Berkeley. Oh, Freight and Salvage. My friend Patrick Lendeza involved in a lot.
Love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and then in Las Vegas on
Yep.
September, and then up in the Pacific Northwest, Portland and Seattle. Triple Door. That's a
Love the
great
Triple
venue.
Door. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a great venue.
Yeah. So we'll post
Yeah, we're looking
this.
forward to that.
We'll post this on our web pages so that our friends they can get in touch with the venue for ticket
Oh, great.
information. But just
Yes,
know that
please.
Kula Evi is on the loose, you guys. Um,
Yes, we are. We're excited. We were actually supposed to have done this earlier in the year, but of course, everything got shut down. So, putting this together has been has its challenges, but we hopefully are able to be there and to see people in person again, and sing for all the people up in California and here and in Portland and in Seattle. So looking forward to that.
Wonderful. Let's see. We have Auntie. Styra says my son Frank Abraham tried numerous times to get all of you on his cooking show, Cooking Hawaiian Style, but you're always so busy performing. Just wanted to know, do all three of you cook? Okay. Um,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. Actually, I was on with Lanai last year. We did a show, and so I made shepherd's pie because as a Kamehameha graduate, everybody loves shepherd's pie. So I made shepherd's pie. But yes, we do all cook, and Lenny makes a mean oxtail stew. She's really good at that. And Angie used to bring all kinds of stuff before too. So yes, we do. We love to cook. So yeah, put us in the kitchen sometime. That'd be great.
Yeah. Great to hear. You've shared with me just a beautiful video that I want to share with our listeners right now. And this is a song. This is a song that you wrote, right? This is Kanani A'o Mauna Kea.
Oh yes, yeah.
So this is an original song that you wrote. Why don't we look at the enjoy the video? Enjoy, and this is your sister Ivalani.
Yep. My
Um,
sister, she's a kumu, yep, in Hilo.
Beautiful. So let's enjoy that, and then we'll come back and talk a little bit about the video right now.
Nania o mauna kea e hulali mai nei e beauty maolino puana ia ke aloha kanania o mauna kea e hulali mai nei a beauty maolino e hulali mai nei a beauty maolino.
Oh my. Whew.
My
That
sister is so
oh
beautiful. She's a beautiful dancer.
that touches me, man. Tell us about the mo'olelo behind this song, please.
Well, I born and raised in Hilo, so I grew up in Kilkaha, and and Mauna Kea was always there, and so in 2018, 2019, when we started having the TMT coming in, and then we had all of the kia'i up on Mauna Kea, and there became this call to assemble, and to come, and for everyone to put their mana and their kuleana together for one cause, for everything, for the Mauna, to save our Mauna. And so I was there, my son was there, my sisters were there, pretty much everyone I know, all of my friends and family, were there to be there to heed the call. My sister was one of the few that kupuna that got arrested on the Mauna. But when we were all there together, I believe it was Zach Lum. Well, he was one of the main forces that wanted to put together an album of songs for the Mauna that they were going to use to raise money, and also just to raise awareness. And so he had asked, there was a call made out to the musicians that if he had any songs about Mauna Kea, or if he were going to write one, to please, to let them know. And so it was funny because years and years before, maybe early 2000s, I had written the lyrics to the song. And Kihei Nahalea, a good friend of mine, we were sitting around and we were talking, and I was having him check it and throwing ideas around. And so I'd had the lyrics. And so when this whole thing happened with Mauna Kea and TMT and the album, and I said, I wrote these lyrics to the song. I wonder if I can find them. So I actually dug around, like, in a trash. I have this box of just tidbits of music, and I found the lyrics, and I was kind of amazed that I found it, but I still had no melody to it. So I just sat down at the keyboard and started playing around, and came up with the melody for it. So I gave it to Zach, and I said, "Can you make it better?" So he's actual piano player for that. He this beautiful arrangement of it, and I went in the studio and sang it, and so we put it on the Kuha o Mauna Kea album. So it's on that album, and really, it's just talking about the physical, the spiritual beauty of Mauna Kea, and how, from the time that I was a little girl, I've always just recognized that the protectingness of it, of her, always protecting us from everything, and then now it was like our turn to protect her too. So, I just miss home so much every time you see that. But yeah, I'm
I'm
getting
s-
emotional.
I'm sorry. That is so chicken skin that watching that it's it's like it's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Here's Auntie Hetty. She says, "Beautiful mele, beautiful hula, why maka?" Yes, yes. Same over here. It really touched me. Whew, what a connection! What a beautiful connection. Uh,
Aw.
well, that took me sideways. I didn't watch the whole video through. As I sat here watching, I'm going, "Oh, how gorgeous! How absolutely beautiful!" just a moment. Mahalo for sharing that. Ah, that's beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Okay,
Yeah.
we're going to take one small kind break right now and do a little bit for our island communities. Across the nation, Native Hawaiians and Pacific Islanders are being disproportionately affected by COVID-19 pandemic. Southern California Pacific Islander COVID-19 response team aims to provide as much information as they can to Pacific Islanders to help our community to stay safe, healthy. And I'd like to share a video right now with all of you about that.
COVID-19 is hurting Native Hawaiians and Pacific Islanders. We have one of the highest infection rates in LA County.
Our elders and those of us who have diabetes, heart disease, or other health conditions have a higher risk for severe illness or even death.
Let's stop the deadly impact of COVID-19 in our community. Follow 3 simple steps. 1. Keep 6 feet of physical distance.
2. Always wear a face covering in public.
And 3. Get tested right away if you have any symptoms. If you don't have a doctor, dial 211 to find free health resources. We have the power to take care of our kainga, our community.
Let's use that power to protect all of us.
So, PacificIslanderHealth.org. To all of our ohana, please make a notation of that. That's a great site, PacificIslanderHealth.org. There's so much information there. They got multilingual messages for Samoans, for Tongans, for so many of our Pacific Islander ohana that's there to learn more about how you and your ohana can protect yourself from this COVID so that all of you stay healthy and stay safe. Yeah. PacificIslanderHealth.org. All righty then. So, Lehua Kalima now, living in Las Vegas, has been keeping herself busy with. You've been going. Have you been going back and forth doing recordings in studio with for the album or?
Actually, we had finished most of it before I came up. When
Oh,
I'd gone home this past time I was home in June, and so I finished a couple tracks, and then actually I'm doing a couple here. Our good friend Milan Bertosa, who was an engineer in Hawaii for many many years, actually lives in Vegas now. So I'm going to go to his house on Monday and finish doing some harmony parts on 2 songs, and then we're done. So then they mix it all together, and
sweet.
we're going to have it when we do our tour. We wanted to make sure we had some in hand when we got out there on the road. So.
Very good. So let's see. Getting ready for the tour coming up in September. Doing road trips to Sedona. and, and
Got to escape the heat sometimes.
yeah,
Vegas is hot. Oh my gosh.
crank up the AC
Yeah, I
all the
know.
time, and showing property. Uh, that's a that's a whole different journey over here because when we talked earlier, you said I always have a property to show, and look at this. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! As a realtor now in Las
Yes.
Vegas, so
Yes.
I'm gonna ask the question: what's up with that?
It's actually, it always comes back to the music because the reason I decided to be a realtor was so that I would have the freedom of time to be able to go and do these tours and to be able to travel to Hawaii and to Japan when the time comes up. So it really was a conscious choice. And also because I've always loved, home things. I love home shows. And when I came to Vegas, when I moved up to Vegas last year, I said, yeah, I think I'm going to get my realty license and investigate what that's all about. And it's been a wonderful journey because the company I'm with, ADG Realty, locally owned. Our broker is from Hawaii. Went to Kaimuki High School, and there's like about 8 of us in the office, all from Hawaii. We play the satellite Hawaii radio station, so it's like it's awesome. It's like being home, and then we get the grinds. Everybody always brings us food right from Hawaii, so um, I'm really enjoying it and enjoying helping people, find homes and get settled and sell their homes. And yeah, it's a different experience, a different career path that I'd ever thought I would have, but it works. I really enjoy it. I think just because I really like working with people, and I like making people happy. So it's a good process for sure.
Yeah, I wonder if any of these folks that are non-local that interact with you as a realtor realize who they're working with. Do they realize they're working with Lehua
Some people
Kalima?
don't have no clue, and then my broker always is like, who she is, and I'm like, oh my god. So, but it's fun, and we have a lot of Hawaii clients, so when they come in the office, we all talk story, but yeah, it's fun.
So tell us about the real estate market in Las Vegas. What is it?
Wow.
Huh?
Well, it's still definitely a seller's market. With COVID, a lot of people started to realize that they could do a lot of work from home, and because a lot of people had to do a lot of work from home, it became a choice. All of a sudden, like, hey, I can do this at home. Why should I have to go to office every day? And so a lot of people realize that if I can do this at home, then I should have a nice house. And so how about I sell my apartment in California for $800,000 and I buy a mansion in Vegas for $800,000. And so it really, because the properties here are still very reasonable, especially compared to California and Hawaii, that there was a huge influx of people. And so that really popped the market. And so it's a total seller's market. If you're a seller here, you're going to get top dollar. A lot of cash buyers are coming in, which makes it hard for the typical buyer who just wants to buy a house in order to live in Hawaii. But I mean, in Hawaii, look at me, in Vegas. But it's still possible. And there are lots of programs. And, we still got to just keep up with the demand. There's a lot of demand for homes here in Vegas right now. So, but it's a great market. It's kind of fun to be in the middle of the throng of it, as opposed to coming when things are super dead. I'd be like twiddling my thumbs, but now I'm like kind of going crazy. As you know, I'm kind of going crazy. I'm like, no, I can't make that time, Kamaka. I can't.
But Hawaiian style hikino, we make it happen. No worries,
Yeah, we'll figure it out
we'll
for sure.
figure it out. So still a lot of building. Still, there's still a lot of new
Yeah.
construction going on.
Yes, there is. There is a lot of that. Of course, the costs have gone up a lot too because, with COVID, lots of things went up in price. Construction materials, even paint. I heard paint is like kind of going through the roof right now, and so the prices are nowhere near what they are in Hawaii, of course. But just within the last year that I've been here, I've seen homes and like condos go up maybe 20 to 30,000. The same exact condo a year later will now cost you like $30,000 more. So it's a good market to get into now if you can. There's still a lot of good programs. The interest rates are super low, so that's why it's really good for buyers to be able to finance a home, and you can still kind of get it right now while it's before it gets crazy. Like Hawaii prices.
Yeah. So any of our friends, you have kids or you get more punas or they're thinking about making a move and they're going to Nevada, Las Vegas area. Reach out to Lehua Kalima, and there's all the information there.
Yeah,
And
and I'll give you all the list of all the places that have poke bowls and ramen and garlic chicken. I know all the local food places. There's a lot of them. So don't worry, you'll be all right. You'll be all right.
she always carries the ukulele in the back of the car if you want her to sing you a song. Um,
Right.
she always has extra CDs in the back to buy some CDs also. Music as well. So um, back to just a little bit about the music because you have such a compelling voice and the choices that you make for arrangements are I just love it, and I'm have an ear because I like I said I love jazz, I love contemporary pop music, and just which is why we're talking about Yosa Allen just a
Oh
few
yeah.
minutes ago, right? What a
Awesome.
great R&B voice she has, and
That-
she puts out some great music as well, and she, as well as Emin Hanaiali'i, who we had the pleasure of being on our Aloha Friday show about a month or so ago, talked about Willie K
mm,
and talked about Amy was sharing What a great, that's my brother from another mother. She said,
Oh yeah, those two
right?
were joined at the hip for years and years. Yeah,
Amazing heart we shared. And Yosa has a special, special place in her heart as well because he mentored her.
yeah.
And the story she tells is Willie would always kick her in the okole. Hey, let's get going. You're gonna do this way. You show up over here. You do this. And so she said he is still reaching out to me from beyond
Oh,
because an arranger that I met back in New York called me, and this was an arranger I met through Willie, called me in out of the blue and said, "Hey, what are you doing? You have some music? I want to work with you." She said, out of the blue, she
wow.
goes, "My goodness, Willie is still reaching out to me and kicking my
Oh,
old collie." I
that's
went, "Oh my
awesome.
God, awesome, right?" So
Yes, good for
you
her.
shared earlier, Lehua, a song that you wrote for Willie K. Tell us about that.
Yeah, your song plays on. I wrote it last year. The years are all melding into
Yeah.
one and the same. But yeah, last year I guess 2020, we lost him in May. So just shortly after that, and just as a look at him, just as really my personal feeling about I don't remember when I met him. I don't remember where I met him, but I always knew that we were going to be friends and that did happen. We used to go to his Willie K Memorial Golf tournaments every year for Maui Memorial Hospital that he would have, and it was a highlight of my life. Like every year, I would make sure that I took the time to go and do that tournament. But we would go and not just play golf and play music, but also we would go to the hospital and he would serenade some of the patients. All the proceeds from the tournament went to help the cancer patients oncology unit there at Maui
Wow.
Memorial Hospital. And so just knowing him and finding, this side of him, the really giving aloha for everybody, uh, that's the Willie that I knew and loved. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, besides his amazing talent and everything that he was as a musician and entertainer, that in itself is just incredible. But his heart was incredible for sure.
Amazing. I want to play the song you wrote for Willie K. It's your song, Plays On. Here it is.
I can't remember when I met you, but I knew that we'd be friends. And through the years we've had some good times, times I wished would never end. I got the news at midnight, but I can't believe it's true, 'cause I still can hear your music coming through. When the lights go dim and the curtains down, the stage is dark and there's no one around. Even after all the crowds have gone, your song, your song, your song plays on. I can't remember where I met you, but I know we'll meet again. And you and I will share some new songs, and I will sing this for you then. And you'll join in and make it better, 'cause that's just what you do. And when I dream at night, I know the music is you. When the lights go dim and the curtains down, the stage is dark and there's no one around. Even after all the crowds have gone, your song, your song, your song plays on. When the lights go
That is beautiful. Who's playing the cello on that one, on Lehua?
Her name is Anna. She's part of the Honolulu Symphony. She does I think she has a quartet too, but she's a sweetheart. We had her play with us for Mary Monarch one year. We had her play the cello for a song that we did, and for Ha'i Ha'i Pua Lehua. It was amazing. It was the first time they ever had a cello at Mary Monarch.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
I saw a picture that I thought was really, really sweet over here. Apparently, this is a picture of you. You are in New York City, near Times Square, at this Colonies pub,
Connolly.
Connolly's pub in New York City. And you had commented about how you had met so many transplanted locals who were living, away from home, and share with us how you felt and your feeling about meeting these folks, these island people away from their home.
Well, I mean, anytime that you go anywhere and you run into people that either have Hawaii ties or are Hawaiian, or have friends that are Hawaiian, they just accept you and they show you aloha, without question. And so, in the middle of New York City in Manhattan, you don't, you think of New Yorkers, like there's gonna be tough and brutal, but there are so many beautiful people with island ties. Some actually from Aotearoa also that were there, and it just felt like you walk in a room, you felt like you were home, And it's really not about where you are; it's about who you are, like what's in you, and what lineage you come from, and it's always there in your heart. So I really appreciated being a part of that group that night. I didn't think anybody would come. I was like, nobody's gonna come and see me in the middle of New York, but there was a bunch of people. Yeah, and it was nice to be able to just share the islands, and it wasn't even like it was a Hawaiian concert. I just did my thing. I played my music, and it was nice to be at home amongst people that you didn't expect, you'd find in the middle of the city.
And here you are years later, where you have moved your residence now to the continent, if you will.
Yeah, on the continent now. And we all find each other. There's huge. I mean, I know in Southern California, there's probably more Hawaiians in Southern California and Vegas than there are in Hawaii, actually. But we all seem to kind of know each other and find each other, and you can't. There's an unmistakable magnetism that we have towards each other, and I guess it's the Aloha spirit. What else could it be? What else is there that's intangible that just draws you to other people that are just like you?
Yeah, we have. You're absolutely correct. I was driving in my car with a workmate here. This is several years ago. He's a California guy, and we were just going to a meeting together. So we carpooled in my car, and my car says Imua 808 on the license plate, just because. Somebody passed by in an SUV and toot the horn and went like this. And I look, and he had a ikaika swinging from his rear vision mirror, And I went like this, and he passed by. And so he says to me, "Do you know who that is?" I go, "No." Well, what was that? I said, because he recognized my license plate, and I saw he had evidence that he also probably was from Hawaii or some connection. So we're saying hello to each other. He goes, "I don't understand that." I said, "It's okay. It's all right. It's all right." Let's see. Auntie Hetty says, Uncle Larry said the cello so good to hear with Hawaiian mele. Yeah. That song that really stood out over here. And here's my buddy Nate Jones. He goes, "Aloha Lehua, love the new music, but wanted to let you know Na Leo's version of Friends was my graduating class song at Midpack in '95.
Midpack, wow.
Midpack '95. About a Nate Jones.
Yeah, that's the year it came out. That's right, '95.
Auntie Hetty says, lots of locals in Vegas. We have Andujas in Henderson. They get family over there too. And I'm told September 11th, that weekend they have the Henderson. There's like a big
Yes.
whole
The
Laulea.
Ho'olalea, yeah,
And they're
exactly.
bringing it back on that
Yes, they
weekend as well.
are. They've been. My
Uh,
son actually dances hula for a kuma up here, kahiki, akana, and so I'm actually gonna play. Well, just sing for a couple songs for the halau. So
so
I'm looking
nice,
forward to it.
so
Yeah.
nice. Oh my goodness, the hour has gone by. Look how
I
fast.
know that was super fast. What happened?
The many unis, they speed up the clock there, I tell you. And I want to thank you so much, Lehua, for being on the Aloha Friday with the Sandwich Island Network. So nice talking
Oh,
stories
thank
about
you.
all you,
It was nice talking story. I
and
appreciate that.
so good. And thank you so much for our ohana that have been viewing, and those of you who commented, and for sharing in our conversation. Always a good time on our virtual paina over here where we talk story and all of that. So we want to somebody just popping in here because they know we're winding up over here. Let me see. Oh, this Tyra, yeah. Tyra says
Ora.
mahalo Lehua for sharing
Oh,
your story and Mele with all of us Hawaiians away from home.
oh, you're
Yeah.
welcome. Mahalo.
So sweet. So don't forget if you're looking for properties or whatever's or a place or even probably if they just want to call you just to talk about some possibilities or
Absolutely.
what it's like, right? Some
Yeah.
consultation, or even if they call, they want to hear local boys, you can just sing to them over. Or if Nate Jones wants to relive his graduation, call up Lehua. She go sing for you as well. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Thank you,
Once
lady.
again, yeah. Once again, thank you so much, Lehua. We're gonna
Oh,
say
yeah.
ahui ho. We'll talk to you soon. And once again, mahalo, Lehua. Take care. We'll talk to you
Aloha.
soon.
Mahalo, everybody.
Aloha.
Oi,
Oh
ho.
my goodness.
Mahalo ka man.
Wow, so good, you guys. Talking with Lehua Kalima at her new home for the last year in Las Vegas. We want to thank our wonderful Sandwich Island social network supporters who are sustaining members of our Ohana, like June Shibuya, Larry, Uncle Larry, and Auntie Hetty Anduha, Kay Bennett. They have joined our Patreon platform with monthly donations, and that is really a beautiful thing to help us continue the work we do. And remember, if you would like to be a sustaining member of our Ohana, we ask you to check us out right over here. Go to our Patreon platform, which is patreon.com/ Sandwich Islands 808. And we also want to acknowledge Thyra Abraham, Susan and Roddy Gregory, DC and Tuwila, Makaena. And all of your donations help the Sandwich Island Social Network continue to do the work that we do right here through our programming throughout the year. So mahalo, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. We look forward to seeing you next time on the Aloha Friday show right here on Facebook Live, where we talk up to interesting people, conversation with islanders, island hearts, island people, and we will catch you next time on the Sandwich Island Social Network. We're going to head out right now with more songs from. I would love to hear more of Lehua Kalima right now. Hello, everybody.